The first 3 episodes of Andor Season 2 are here, and we have some hard-hitting moments. We're going to talk about our first impressions, general overview, spoiler-free, and then get into some spoiler discussion. So, let's jump in. Welcome to Star Wars Uplink.
Just you reconsider playing that message for him.
So, first 3 episodes are here. We basically just got a whole movie. If not more than that, because I think altogether it's like 2.5 to almost 3 hours. Like, we're getting some juicy Star Wars right now. We're basically going to get a movie a week for 4 weeks.
Oh, it's beautiful. I'm so happy about it.
It's so good. What do you think? We're back. It's been a while. It's been 2 years since we last saw Andor.
Mm-hmm.
The first season had a pandemic that took place, and then this season, during the midst of it, there was a writer strike as well as the Actors Guild strike. So it also faced some struggles, but you cannot tell.
No.
In the actual making of this, the sets are incredible. The acting is incredible. The costumes, everything comes together in such a beautiful way.
I already know I want to rewatch all of this, like,
oh yeah,
as soon as possible, so I can be like 2 inches away from the screen, looking at all these costumes and the sets and stuff. Like, I need to be closer. Let me feel it.
I think the 3 episodes together works quite well.
Yeah.
I said after we finished the first episode, like, could you imagine if we had to wait a week? So it's always that give and take between like weekly releases and big binge moments. This is kind of like a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I was struggling because we didn't get to watch this until much later. I had to basically like just not be on Twitter at all. So that's difficult. I feel like with the weekly release, we all kind of have this agreement of like, okay, we'll let people take it in, and then we'll discuss it.
Right.
But with like, it's going to be hard discussing this for people that just do not have the time to watch.
That's true.
3 hours of Star Wars.
That is true. I'm sorry, guys.
But I think Cassian's character, it's interesting that they took the jump of a year. They get to wave a little bit of the character discovery, because the end of the first season we have Cassian coming to discover really that he needs to be a part of the rebellion, that this is something that he needs to be pushing forward, and in this first little arc we see him dedicating to that. We see him saying, okay, we're in this for the long haul, let's get into the rebellion.
Yeah, Cassian's definitely come through a lot, and we're quickly reminded about that. You can already kind of starting to see this leadership role starting to creep in there. Like, just because we know where he's gonna go, like we know where he's gonna end up. But man, yeah, what a crazy way to begin, like for him.
Yeah,
where he's stealing this TIE fighter and then getting caught up in this squabbling group. That's kind of
all we'll say.
Yeah. What?
We're still in spoiler-free territory.
Okay.
Yeah, we have without getting into too much details yet, we have Cassian getting into this moment where he really showcases how much he knows.
Yeah. Not necessarily manipulate, but I would say definitely like understands people and like how they think. This is the leadership thing that I'm like talking about. Like it's just very clear where he's kind of heading, and
he knows how to.
He gets the game. You know, he's like, this is the game. This is where I'm at. This is where everyone else is at in this moment. I need
to make sure they don't realize that.
Yeah, and I just gotta play the game.
Yeah, I think to overall thoughts on the first 3 episodes, I think it's really good to set the characters in motion, to see the repercussions of the first season's actions, and also see some of the fruits of the labor of the first season. I think there's a lot of good stuff there where you get to see the characters in a good place, continuing off from where we last saw them.
Yeah.
And it's hard to pull that off, which, again, I didn't have any doubts that they would pull it off.
Oh, no.
But it's just so invigorating that they did it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we've gotten so used to a lot of the other Star Wars content just not being there fully. And it's so awesome to see something like running on all cylinders, every aspect of it, the storytelling, the directing, the acting, the sets, the costumes, the visuals. Everything is just full steam ahead, which is nice.
Yeah, we're in for it, man. I'm already emotionally getting damaged from this. Oh, yeah. So it's going to be
this and The Last of Us happening at the same time. Brutal.
Just stop. I can't take it, but give it to me.
Yeah. Before we get into the spoiler section, the reason that this specific episode is in this way is because we're in Japan right now. We're at Star Wars Celebration. We did a live podcast, and that will come out soon. Was a great time and had a lot of fun with that. But now, spoiler, let's go. I think it's so fascinating that we're getting to see so much contrast. Because we've got the highs of just beauty and wealth with the Mon Mothma storyline. You also see the manipulation with Luthen Rail alongside that Mon Mothma storyline. Then you see kind of like how the rebellion actually works on the ground. Like not everything is going as is planned.
Right.
You get to see people that have sacrificed for the rebellion without even knowing that they're sacrificing for the rebellion. You get to see Cassian really come into this leadership role. And then you have Brasso, Bix, and Will.
Yeah, something like that.
And B2 Emo, of course.
Oh, sweet baby.
Yeah. I just came to the realization that they didn't pick him up.
No.
He's still on the planet.
Oh, no.
No.
No, leave that baby behind.
But you have them like really like on a planet that was supposed to be the hideout while they got stuff done, eventually becoming into the Empire's gaze. You also have Dedra and Sirill's storyline, which is so fascinating.
What is going on there?
First of all, we have the Death Star, which is being pitched as a regenerative energy resource. Unlimited power was said during his speech, which I just love so much. But you have that whole storyline. We see Krennic, of course, guiding this. We're getting to see these discussions of how do you build something like the Death Star without anybody realizing it? Well, you don't have any nodes. You have a very small group of people, and you vet every single level of this. And they're really they are doing the thing that happens in politics, which is a small group of people making decisions that will impact an entire, in this case, planet. But in the history of politics, you have many examples throughout history of a small group of people planning something that will impact an entire country, entire countries, cities, all of this stuff. You have the small group of people doing that in this case. And in this case, it's Gorman because of the resources on that planet. And I think it's fascinating to see how they're showcasing the levers being pulled for this discussion. Oh, so good.
Oh, man. Oh, it's so
it's gross.
Yeah.
But good.
It's gross because it's true.
Yeah.
Because it's so
it's not some mystical force.
No.
This is just people.
Yeah. This is just how it is.
There's no excuse of, oh, hey, they're the dark side. No. This is just them trying to be good at their job.
Yep.
And it just so happens that their job is genocide.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just the way they were talking about all of that was no one is talking about the people. Wow.
Some did.
Yeah,
they're
oh
yeah.
Well, I guess moving everyone would be best. But I don't know how we're going to be able to do that.
Well, we're just going to have to kill them all.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
You have to plan for this outcome.
We thought about that, but I don't think it's going to happen. So let's just have another plan.
And then you have Dedra being there oh, I can see how this is going to blow up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want this.
I don't want to be a part of this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, you don't.
Uh-huh.
You see the chessboard.
Yeah. And then her boss was like, well,
10
sorry.
steps ahead.
You're already there.
Yeah.
Too
this
bad.
Is a gift. Are you kidding me? No way.
And then you have Sirill that's over there being the freaking stay-at-home mom.
Yes.
Just
I love it.
Prioritizing his work, doing everything he can, taking things too seriously.
Way too seriously.
It's beautiful. I love that we have the girl boss of Dedra who is just like, you can see what's beginning to start.
Yep.
With just how she's manipulating, taking control of the situation. I think there's going to be a clear analogy, I guess, or kind of through line where you have Sirill and Dedra, and also Dedra and this project. I think there's going to be a lot of similarities in terms of how that story goes.
Yeah. I kind of wonder, just to branch off on the Sirill Dedra topic real quick, I kind of wonder if Sirill's going to feel like he traded his mom for another mom. Because, I mean, clearly she's got, like, she knows the game that's being played here, and so now she's taken control of it. And I kind of have a feeling that Sirill's gonna like appreciate it at the beginning and then gonna hate it here real soon. He's so particular because he's always had to be.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wonder if he's gonna like get fed up somehow and they feel like I need to break free. I don't know. I'm curious. I'm curious if he'll ever change the rebellion. I don't know.
That's what I was just about to say. Do you think that he's gonna go that route? Do you think he's gonna get so like motivated? Because there is a shot in the trailer of Cassian and Sirill.
Oh dang!
So
I think it's possible.
They're gonna cross paths at some point.
I think it is possible. I think it would be a really interesting arc for Dedra for him to choose that. Because I think she's probably gonna come to I don't know if respect is the right word, but like she's going to come to appreciate Sirill in other ways, and then he's going to do this, and then it's probably going to just wreck her world for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's just me speculating from what I've seen in trailers and whatnot. So
I do think it's going to be interesting to see what direction that they go on, especially just because of the contrast and also the relationship that Sirill has versus the relationship that Dedra has and kind of how that goes on. I think there's a lot of interpersonal things that are going to be very interesting there. Another thing that I do want to bring up, we always talk about how, and I brought it up in the panel at Star Wars Celebration, there was Luthen Rail's gallery. And in this time, there wasn't a Starkiller suit of armor or anything like that. It was Plo Koon or the species of Plo Koon's breathing mask.
yeah,
And I think that's just so interesting to have that so upfront.
yeah,
And I think there's a lot of things. The Rakuten Empire was mentioned again, specifically with Chandrila. And I think there's a lot of history there that could be interesting to be drawn on. There's just so much potential from from Andor and just those 3 episodes. And it's so subtle, but has such an impact, or could have such an impact.
They do such a good job at just weaving similar stories through all of the stories.
Yeah. Without ever being the point.
Right. But you're always,
me. Yeah.
It's always drawing you in more. Like, I don't know. They, like at the wedding when they're talking to the one random guy and he says that his mom was Gorman. And you're like, what? Like you're constantly being reminded of these different words and things, and everything's getting
also
kind
just
of
shown
connected.
The impact. You're subtly seeing the impact of what is going to come later on in the show, or what has already happened.
Yeah.
And I think there's just a beautiful moment there of like, oh, okay, because we know where Cassian ends, there's so much stuff that we can do to prepare these characters for that moment.
Yeah.
It's just really fascinating to see.
Yeah. It really makes you realize how connected this vast galaxy is. It's like, it's not that big. You know? It is huge.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
but not
everyone's affected. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you are, who you are. You will be affected.
Mm-hmm. And it's not small in the way that, like, The Mandalorian feels small.
Yeah.
It's small in the fact that every single person in the galaxy is just a person.
Yeah.
And they're going to be impacted by things in very different ways.
Mm-hmm. As seen in these 3 episodes.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
Across the galaxy, you're seeing like the one dude on the farming planet. He's like, they need to know that this is happening. And Brasso's like, it's happening everywhere. You're not special, bro.
No.
This is why we're doing this.
Yeah.
It's because this is happening on every other planet.
Yeah.
Or if it's not happening on that planet, it will probably happen on that planet soon.
Yep.
Depending on the resources gained and also the population. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
There are other things that we want to get into, but we're gonna have to go into that on another video or podcast episode. Let us know your thoughts on the first 3 episodes of Andor in the comments below. If you're watching this on YouTube, or contact uplinkpodcast.com if you're listening to this wherever you find podcasts. As always, thank you for listening, and may the Force be with you.